Hey everyone. So before I dive in and do the series of videos I want to do with journeying of the lower, upper, and middle worlds, um, and I might throw in some other stuff. I'm not exactly sure yet. Still sort of deciding what I want to do, but those three journeys will definitely be ones that I do videos on as guided journeys for anyone looking to get into shamanism. Or who has just a bit of an interest and would like to learn more. I will say I definitely do not mean these as a form of training. I definitely do not want people to watch these videos and then go away and try to do it themselves at home. I really think that you do need to attend a workshop or learn from someone, whether it be myself or any of the other shamanic teachers who run workshops and things around the place. Yeah, I really do believe that you need that foundation before you can safely go away and do journey work by yourself at home. But in this time where I'm unable to work with people face to face, I think these videos are a great way to sort of give people a bit of a taste of what shamanism is kind of like. With this video, I'd like to briefly break shamanism into three categories that I put it under. Within those categories, there is multitudes, too many to break down into their own. Each tradition has multiple categories that you can break down, and it is an incredibly complicated system when you start looking into it and talking on that. So the three that I want to break down, first is classical shamanism. This is the traditional shamanism of where you were taught by a shaman in a traditional setting, and you very much have a teacher-apprentice relationship going on, and you are learning from this singular person with the end goal of being initiated into a certain lineage and a certain tradition. This certainly isn't for everyone. It can be very hard. It has no guarantee that you will see it through to the end and actually be initiated. It's hard work and it is brutal. I'm not initiated in any traditions or cultures. I work towards and sort of curve towards certain traditions more so than just sticking with the core shamanism, but I'm in no way initiated as a shaman. I'm a shamanic practitioner. When you do get initiated into a lineage and a tradition, you have to take the good and the bad. It is extremely strict in what you can and can't do, how you do things. The way that things are set up and the order that things are done is incredibly important and has to be done properly every single time with everything you do in all the different ceremonies or rituals or healings and techniques that you learn. So it's a very complicated system, and not a huge amount of people do end up going that way too much, as it is quite hard in the Western world to find somebody to apprentice under and work with. So, like all of these three categories, it has its pros and its cons. The next one that I want to talk about is... I'm just going to stick with the core shamanism, which is the Michael Hana model, which he took from a lot of classical shamanism. He took certain aspects and bound them together into a way of teaching these techniques that are found broadly all over the world. So these techniques are things like cleansing, soul retrieval, extraction work, just basic healing techniques used by shamans that can be sort of compacted and taught in a quite concise yet quite quick way of just doing a few workshops and then being able to step away and slowly gain more experience and work as a shamanic practitioner seeing clients. So this has great great pros and cons. Again, it is a lot looser than classical shamanism. You don't need to be quite as regimented. It doesn't have as many sort of rules and taboos and things around it that you have to watch out for. It is a lot looser and sort of easily done by anyone who is interested in stepping in and doing shamanism. I definitely don't think it's any lower than classical shamanism. I know plenty of shamanic practitioners who work with core shamanism who are incredibly talented healers and have incredibly strong relationships with a multitude of spirits and come out with incredible results when working with clients. So I definitely, I'm not putting any of these above or below one another. I'm just breaking it down into 3 different lines that I kind of view it as. So that's core shamanism, and that's probably the most widely used form in the Western world. There are a lot of people that teach the core shamanic principles, myself included. It is very accessible and quite easy to step into if shamanism is sort of your thing, and it's a great way to see if it is your thing, because you can do a weekend workshop and through that kind of decide whether it's something that you really are interested in or if it's something that you just want to kind of dip your toes into. The other form that I wanted to put in here is neo-shamanism. So in my view, and in the way that I've kind of read through things and learnt things and broken things down, neo-shamanism is either being trained in classical or core shamanism and then adding sort of new age or even older things, but adding different ways of healing in with shamanism and locking them together. So Reiki, working with crystals, working extensively with sort of angels and those beings. Things like that aren't necessarily found in core or classical shamanism, but certainly can be mixed into if you want to practice neo-shamanism. I even put neo-shamanism in the same box as people who work with psychotherapy or counselling as well as shamanism. For me, neo-shamanism is anything that you're taking shamanism and another set of healing and mixing them together and using those together and syncing them in. And again, I've seen incredible results of people I know who do work with several different healing modalities as well as shamanism and mixing them together. I know people who work with breath work as well as shamanism, counselling as well as shamanism, herbalism, natural medicine as well as shamanism. It's so broad and you can really mix anything in with it. I don't practice that at all. I have studied herbalism, sort of homeopathy, flower essences, Ayurvedic medicine, those sorts of things, but I've never wanted to mix it in with shamanism. I've always wanted to stick to the very sort of core, bordering on classical shamanism. For me, that's where I find I'm most interested and I get the most enjoyment out of working in that sort of pure form. But I'm certainly not knocking anyone who works with it in any other way. So yes, those are the 3 that I just want to briefly break down before I lead anyone into journey work. The next video I record and put out will be a lower world journey, a guided lower world journey. So I will be putting that out quite soon, and I hope anyone interested can see that and be guided on a journey and kind of suss out whether shamanism's your thing and something you'd like to do a bit more of, or if it's not. And I think that doing a guided journey is a great way of kind of getting a bit of a taste, a bit of a feel for it. So thanks for listening, and I'll film this next video and talk to you all real soon. See ya.